Hi loves, Ofune here. Welcome back to the Coco Swatches YouTube channel. Today's tutorial is going to be all about glowing skin, but for those of us who already kind of have that natural glow, that oily skin that pokes through your foundation after like 5 minutes of you putting it on. So if you're ready for spring summer 2018 and you want to be glowed to the gods, but you want to make sure you perfect your base, please stay tuned and keep on watching. So this routine is going to be for the people that have oily skin but still want that glowy look, just not like it's dripping off your face. I have combination oily skin, so I'm going to do the steps that I normally do and add the glowiness later. So first of all, I'm going to prime my face using the Cover FX Blurring Primer, so you guys can see. Next, before applying foundation, I'm going to take my Laura Mercier powder in translucent medium deep, and I'm going to powder before I apply my foundation, just to make sure that none of those oils come through and just prevent that process for as long as possible. So if you have dry skin, then you probably don't need to do this step, but I especially concentrate the powder in the places where I get most oily, which would be my T-zone area. And as you can see, I'm applying with a beauty blender, just pressing the powder into the skin. So you can already see it's like kind of giving me some coverage already. I also have a couple of blemishes that I want to conceal before applying my foundation. So my favorite product to use to spot conceal is the Becca Aqua Luminous Perfecting Concealer, and I don't know what shade. This is the darkest shade. The shade little sticker has come off, but I know this is the darkest shade, so I just go ahead and just, before foundation, just put it on the areas where I have some dark spots and go in with the beauty blender and just press it in. So you can see like it just made those dark spots disappear. Next, we're going with a very brand spanking new product. This is the Beauty Bakery Cake Mix in the shade number 17. It is described as a demi-matte formula. I don't know exactly what that means, but I'm assuming it's like a matte that works with your skin. I have a review already in the app, so you guys can look there and look for swatches and all that good stuff. But I'm gonna show you guys how I use it here. So I like to apply this foundation with a brush. I'm using the e.l.f. Ultimate Blending Brush today. And since this foundation dries pretty quickly, what I like to do is just squeeze a pump of it on the back of my hand, like so. And just go in with the brush like this. Hopefully you guys can see that. There we go. And apply it straight onto the skin. So this foundation, it looks a lot lighter in the bottle and like the way it pumps out than the shade that it actually blends on the face. So you guys can see, hopefully, that it's blending out a little darker than it looked when it first pumped onto the back of my hand. I did a quick demo on my Insta stories, but I kind of explained that I can actually wear 2 shades of this foundation. This is a shade 17, but there's also a shade 15 that kind of matches the high points and the lighter points of my face, like those golden undertones. But I went a shade darker just so that I can have an even base, and then go in and highlight and contour and all that good stuff. So main point being, this is a mattifying foundation, and this is just going to help you have the base that you're going to need if you do have like oily skin type. And, you know, you still want it to last a long time. So next we're going to go in with concealer under the eyes. So we want this look to eventually become luminous. So we're going to go with a more kind of luminous concealer, and then to mattify it, setting it with powder. So, and the steps of this routine are important. So first we're going to go in with this concealer. So that's the first step after you apply the base. So this is my finished base. As you can see, we'll do a little It does look a little bit warm, but like I said, I went a little bit darker so that it matches. Like, my body is all different types of colors. Like, if you look up here, it's a little darker. Look right here, it's a little lighter. So, you know, this is just the base that we're starting with, and we're going to go in and just use highlighting and contouring to make everything look even. So, I'm going in with the Maybelline Age Rewind Concealer in the shade Tan. And I'm just going to apply that to the under eye. Now, this type of concealer that you can leave, like you can leave this for like, I don't know, like 20 minutes and it's not gonna like dry down or anything, like until you decide to blend. So we're just gonna just apply it to both sides, no rush. Just gonna apply a little. Actually, I have a small forehead, so I realized that like highlighting my forehead is not as important, highlighting and contouring it, but we're just gonna put a little bit right there in the center. I don't really like contouring my nose, but we're just going to do the sides so that it appears to have somewhat of a contoured effect. So we're just going to let that sit for a couple of minutes. So while that's sitting, we're going to move on to the next step, which is to mix up the most important part of this tutorial, which is the glowy part. So what I like to do is use like a liquid illuminator and mix in with a powdered one, like a loose powdered one, to create a very natural but very enhanced glow effect. So the products that I'm going to be using today are the Iconic London Illuminator in the shade Glow. You guys can see that here. Here we go. Glow. And then the MAC Strobe Cream in the shade Peach Light. So if you have a little like mixing pad, I have one down here, it's easier to use that or do the back of your hand, however you want to do it. But I'm just going to squirt some down here. I'm going to mix this little concoction I have. You guys can see here. I'm going to mix it with my LeBron's Jackie Island Artist Couture highlighter collab. Oops. I put way too much. Don't worry, we're gonna fix it. So yeah, fix that. It's probably why it's best to use something to mix this on rather than the back of your hand, but so hopefully you guys can see this little concoction that we have going on here. And so now I think the concealer, has been on long enough. Let's go ahead and start blending that out with the Beauty Blender. And you can see like you're still able to like move this foundation. It's looking pretty bright, but that's okay. You're still able to move this foundation after being on my face for like 5 minutes. Just gonna blend that out. So now that we're all blended out, we're gonna start adding the glow. So we're using we're gonna be using a liquid formula because it's always best to use liquids first and then apply powder afterwards. So we want to make sure we get all our liquid products on the face before we start to apply any type of powders. So we're not going to set the under eye just yet. So what we're going to do, I have on the back of my Beauty Blender that glow mixture that I showed you guys earlier. And we're just going to liberally apply this all over this area, like all over. So I'm going to put a little bit on this side. So the point of this step is to like basically start adding glow to the face before you even contour or anything like that, because the contour and everything else you put on top of this is still going to look radiant. So this is just going to make sure that no matter how much you set, no matter how much you put on top of the face, the finished product is still going to have radiant. It's still gonna look skin-like. So hopefully you guys can see like there's a lot of glow happening here. You can even like bring it up almost to the under eye area. So I'm just like this whole area all up in here, even though I'm gonna go back in and contour on top of it. So yeah, and you can add as much as you want, because we are still, keep in mind though, I'm still going to add a powder highlight to this after. So hopefully you guys can see I'm starting to look super, super glowy. So now we can go in and add the powder products. So to set the under eye, I'm gonna go back in with a little tip of my Beauty Blender and just go right in the spaces that we don't want to crease. Not over the whole area, but just like right up in here. That's like the most important place. See, like, and going over the powder over it. Ugh, I can't speak. Even though I'm applying powder over the area that I just applied that cream to, the radiance is still going to shine through that powder, but you're still going to achieve the setting effect that you want under eye. So I'm going to do the same thing to the other side. Next, we're going to contour and bronze a little bit. I'm going to be using the Makeup Geek Deal Breaker Contour Powder in Warm Deep with this kind of angled brush. I'm not going to apply too much. Just going to go over the area where you would normally contour. Just apply that over the areas where we highlighted. So you can see like the face is still looking radiant, but you're still getting that contour effect. So you can, I'm applying a light hand, but you can be more liberal with this if you really want like your cheeks to be super, super chiseled. So while that's sitting there, I also want to apply a little bit more warmth to the face. So I really like this Extra Dimension blush from MAC in the shade Hard to Get. It's like a very deep bronzy shade, and the formula is shimmery but like not glittery, so it just adds a nice sheen to the face. So you can use this as like a blush, or as, if you're a little bit lighter than me, as like a contour bronzer type deal. So just going like right here on the cheek and back. So I just want to finish my eye makeup, so we're almost finished here. For a little extra glow, I'm going to go in with the Beauty Bakery highlighter in the shade, where I always like miss the shade name. What is the name? Glazed. I'm going to go in with the Beauty Bakery highlighter in the shade Glazed. I'm just going to tap a little bit more onto my cheeks. So not a lot, because we're already pretty glowy. I'm using an Anastasia brush, and I think it's I don't know, I think the number rubbed off, it's like A23 or something. So as you can see, we are glowing, we are getting to where we need to get. So next we're going to set the face. I like to use the MAC Dark Deepest Mineralized Skin Finish to set the whole face. So I'm just going to go over everything, this powder, and it's light enough to make sure that that glow is still shining through, but still going to set everything in place. Again, concentrating the powder in this, especially my nose area and T-zone. But still allowing those places that we want to shine, to shine, shine. So you thought we were finished, right? Almost finished. So I'm not naked. I just, you know, put on a tube top so that I can show you guys the very last step in our glowing beauty routine. This is the brand spanking new Body Lava from Fenty Beauty, and I have the shade Who Needs Clothes. Now there are two shades. I think the other one is called Brown Sugar or something, and this one is Who Needs Clothes. Brown Sugar, I believe, is a little bit darker, has more gold reflex. This one is more of a rose gold. And so even though I have a darker skin tone, at first I was a little bit skeptical because it looks super light in the bottle, and like if I saw a highlighter that was a shade, like I wouldn't gravitate towards it. But after applying it, I was basically sold. So we're just gonna show you guys what this looks like. So here I have the brush. It's a face and body brush. It has a number on it, 160. It's essentially just a small little kabuki brush. And I find that using the brush is a lot easier than using like your hands, because it does like, it has a, make sure I'm in focus here, it has a gel-like consistency. So it's not like an oil, but it's not a lotion. It's like, It's hard to describe exactly what this consistency is, but it allows it so you have a very long-lasting, transfer-proof type sheen. So as you can see, it is blended in and it's looking very radiant. I'm looking very glowy. You can just add this. I'm not sure if you can put this on the face. I'm assuming that you can, but because it has this kind of like gel-like texture, I would assume this would be your last step, or if you're like have a new makeup day, or if you want to apply this before applying a powder highlighter, kind of like how we did with that liquid highlighter formula we applied before we applied everything else. But yeah, I really enjoy this product. I feel like that $6 price tag is high, but it's like a luxury product and I feel like it's worth the money. So yeah, this is the Body Lava in Who Needs Clothes. I don't feel like I need clothes when I wear this. So this is the finished look, glowing skin for those of us who have combination oily skin. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you learned something, or if you have any tips for oily skin types or combination skin types on how to still glow without your makeup look like it's going to drip off your face in 5 minutes, please feel free to leave comments down below. Don't forget to like this video if you're feeling this look, and subscribe to our channel so you can be notified next time that we upload a video. I'll put all everything I use in the description box below, as well as where you can find swatches of the Beauty Bakery foundation that I'm wearing today. I'll probably put a link somewhere around here on where you can download our mobile app. I think I've been through all of our announcements, so thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.